So the last part of the talk is on how to be an eloquent resident. See, we may talk in different scenarios and stages, be it presenting your paper in a conference, pitching your ideas, presenting a seminar to your seniors or HOD, or even trying to tackle the dreaded Viva. No matter what the scenario is, the ability to put across your thoughts clearly to your audience, the audience can be 1 or 1,000, it doesn't matter. That skill is the most important life skill to learn, let alone medicine. Now, let us look at some of the scientific techniques on how to be a strong communicator. I will give you the 4 rules. Rule number 1, always plan on the paper first. I know when you're asked to present a topic by your senior or by your chief, it's tempting to take your laptop, open up the PowerPoint and start adding slides one by one for your presentation. But nothing works better than planning your talk on a blank piece of paper. This is the rough outline of this talk which I'm giving right now, which I made on a single page. Later, I expanded this initial sketch to make a second draft. So this outlining or this mind mapping before preparing your slides or giving any talk gives us more flexibility and clarity. If you are a techie, you can use a mind map software on PC or phone to create an outline. This app is called XMind. It's completely free. Mind mapping is a proven way to learn something, to learn any new ideas. And it is also a great way to prepare a topic and to present the topic as well. And that brings me to rule number 2, always classify the content. You might have noted that I've split this talk into these 4 rules. So always divide the content into numerous subtopics and place them in 3 levels while you prepare and present. So this stepwise approach helps in preparation as well as presentation. Always cut the big cake and feed your audience one small piece at a time. Like how we emulsify the cataractous lens. Always divide and conquer. So I call it as the 3 levels of learning. This methodology I've been following right from my undergraduate days whenever I'm presenting a topic. It's called the ABC levels. It's just inverse of ABC. So we'll start with the C first. In the first level, we present only the fundamental concepts. Please spend more time on this level. Spend the initial minutes teaching the vital points because the attention span of our audience is constantly reducing. How many times we would have been slept or we would have been bored by our seniors talk and start fiddling with our phones. We don't want that to happen to us, right? We don't want to experience that bitter medicine. So before the audience loses us, tell them the vital message. This is my ocular TB lecture script. So this is how I prepared and taught my residents. So I divided the content into multiple subtopics, added my own hand-on illustrations and presented in the same format. Even in each section, classify the information, always divide and conquer. I use the very same document to teach TB to my residents. So I use this app called Notability, which Subhashni mentioned. It's a brilliant app. It comes to around 700 rupees. It's a must if you have an iPad. And I feel every resident should own an iPad. More than iPad plays a huge role in your learning. This is a great tool to present your ideas. So I rarely use PowerPoint to teach these days because boring slideshows don't help us in teaching science and influencing our students. And that brings me to the next rule. Avoid overuse of PowerPoint. I call it as the PowerPoint poisoning or PowerPoint toxicity. Just look at this slide. The slide apparently talks about PowerPoint overload or simplicity we should maintain, but the slide itself is crowded with text. PowerPoint is a great tool. There is no doubt about it. Even though I'm using Keynote to present this talk, which might sound hypocritical, but the sad truth is that these tools are being abused. PowerPoint slides should never replace the presenters. If the audience can read from the slides all by themselves, even in our absence, then there is no point of presenting something, right? So you can ask the question, how to avoid text-rich slides? Use presenter notes, which is a brilliant addition in both PowerPoint and Keynote, where you can type the text in a box, which will hide while you present on a larger screen, example, on a projector or TV. So this is what you will see. This is what a presenter will see. You will be seeing the slide along with your presenter notes. But the audience will see only the slides on the larger screen. And you will sound really smarter when you don't read the slides directly. But the problem is you will need 2 screens. You will need a primary computer or a laptop or a desktop, and you will need a secondary monitor. Could be a screen or could be a TV. But since we are all doing Zoom calls these days, there is still an option to share a limited part of the screen. That is only the slide part of the PowerPoint. So click on the share screen, click on advanced and select portion of the screen. What happens is that the presenter will see the entire window along with the slides and the notes, but the audience will see only the selected portion that is within the green box. This is just a live relay of Zoom. Leave aside all the technology. This is my personal advice and from my experience. If you're going to ask me what is the one way to be fluent, clear, persuasive presenter and an effective communicator, please teach. I think we have come like a full circle from Harini's first talk. Teaching is the best way to learn. And not just that, teaching is the best way to be eloquent and fluent. You are never too young to teach. If you are a first-year resident, teach your nurses and help your final years in their examinations. If you're a final year, teach your first year. You know why? By teaching, we become better learners. Whatever ophthalmology, little ophthalmology I remember till date is the concepts I taught my residents and juniors. Because this is a scientific method. You might be knowing this legendary physicist and Nobel laureate. He's Professor Richard Feynman. He will ask his fellows to teach complex physics concepts to kindergarten kids. So these fellows will go there and rack their brains. How am I going to teach physics to a small kid? But interestingly, in that process of racking their brains, trying to find a way, they learned the concepts better. So we strengthen our concepts by explaining to the students in simple terms. This is called as Feynman's technique, which is a proven strategy to learn better. So to summarize, teaching is the shortcut to eloquence. By teaching, you become a better learner of the subject. By learning more and by teaching again and reviewing your reading materials again and again, you have solidified or cemented the concepts when you explain. You will never forget. And when you do that again and again, you will have a clarity in your stream of thoughts. You will know how to put across your thoughts clearly, be it to an examiner, okay, or be it in a conference. By the end of the day, you become a better communicator in putting your ideas across. You become the master in presentation. And that ends with my presentation. Thanks a lot, dear residents, for your attention. So the message is, let us all teach to reach. And this is going to be the playlist. You can type in Talents Teach on YouTube. We'll be adding all the current speakers who spoke before me into this playlist, and you can always watch them whenever you want. They will be giving more insights and their advice and their valuable wisdom in this playlist through these videos. So thank you so much for the patience listening.